people, it's Rickita. I'm back with another video. So in this video, you guys, I want to tell you guys about how I'm helping my clients remove collections from their credit reports. And trust and believe that the credit bureaus do not want you to know this. They do not want you to know what I'm actually doing, and definitely the collection agencies don't want you to know. Don't forget, collection agencies, there's not the people that you actually got the debt with. So I'm going to talk to you guys about what you need to do to make sure that that debt is actually removed from your credit reports, and going forward what you should actually do. Now the first thing I want to go over is this. A lot of people, they don't understand that if you have collections on your credit report, you really need to send a letter to the credit bureau, and you need to send a letter to the collection company to get those accounts removed. I mean, removed and deleted from your credit reports. Your credit score is not going to go up just by paying that collection. You really need to get that account removed. So what I want you to do is I want you to check out this letter right here. This is the letter that you'll actually send to the credit bureaus, and you're going to tell them, hey, they need to remove this account from your credit reports. Now, sometimes you send this letter out, they're not going to remove it right away. That's why you need to send a letter to the collection company also, and you need to make sure you're following up with them to make sure that it is getting removed from your credit reports. Sometimes you'll send this letter here, and you really need to send this letter right here that I'm showing. You need to send this letter to the collection agency. Send it to the collection agency, and you basically telling them, hey, you need to remove this from my credit reports. Now, a lot of people don't understand, when you get these accounts removed from your credit reports, your credit score is really going to go up, not by paying the collection agency, but by actually getting it deleted from your credit reports. So if you guys were to actually look at a collection, so let me show you a collection right here. If you guys actually look at a collection, you will see that it may say it's an open account. If you see that the account, if you look at that collection and say it's an open account, then you will know that, hey, collections can't be an open account. It should not say open account. And then you should actually send a separate letter, which I have all these letters inside my exclusive membership, you guys. So don't be alarmed. Oh my gosh, what, all these letters. You should send a separate letter, and here's that letter here. You need to send this letter to the credit bureaus, basically saying, hey, this collection is reporting inaccurately, and that's going to help you get that collection removed from your credit reports. Now, you'll also see some accounts where you'll see a collection where the last date of activity, and I know this may be a lot, y'all. I'm going to slow it down more, but you may see another account where you will see that the last date of activity is inaccurate. And the last date of activity is the first day that you became delinquent on the account. So remember that. It's the first day you became delinquent on the account, or the last time you paid on the account. There is no way that you became delinquent for the first time after they purchased your collection. There's no way. You only can, that day has to be before you actually got that collection. So if you look on that collection and you see that the date for the last date activity is actually after the date that the collection was open, or it's the same date, you automatically know that they are re-aging this debt. Now, re-aging means that when you look on, if you look on Credit Karma, you look on TransUnion, Equifax, Experian, you will see where they say, hey, collection accounts going to stay on your credit reports for 7.5 years. Collection companies do not want your collection account to stay on there for 7.5 years. They want to stay on there for longer so that they can keep trying to collect the debt. And if you try to get a house, try to get a car, you're going to be mad that that's on your credit report. So they assume that, hey, if I keep this on your credit report, you go one day eventually, you're going to just go ahead and pay that debt. Now, what they'll do is they'll re-age it. Re-age it means, hey, your 7.5 years is going to start from the date of your last date of activity. So if they change that last date of activity, and usually collection companies, they'll re-age it so bad that your last date of activity is updated every single month. And when your last date of activity is updated every single month, that collection account is never going to come off your credit reports. Never, unless you settle with them and, you know, you do like a pay to delete or something like that, where you say, hey, I'm gonna pay you and delete this from my credit reports. Other than that, it's not gonna come off your credit reports. Or you can send a letter into the credit bureaus to get it deleted too. Or you can send a letter to the collection company saying, hey, you're re-aging my account and you need to remove from my credit reports. And this is the letter right here that you will use if they're re-aging your debt for that collection. Now, don't forget, just because the collection is on your credit reports don't mean that you actually owe that. So I remember when I first started helping people with their credit, I'm like, dang, you got a lot of collections. And they're like, Rickita, I don't even know what this stuff is. And if you don't know what these accounts is, you need to make sure that you send a letter to the credit bureaus, tell them just delete it. Hey, we ain't gonna try to figure this out in a few years. I ain't gonna wait for you just to delete it. Hey, delete this within 30 days. So send a letter to the collection company, tell them to delete it. And on top of that, if you don't know what the debt is, you need to send a letter to the collection agency and ask them to actually validate that debt and verify that this debt is actually yours. Like, show me that this debt is actually valid. Now, when it comes down to identity theft, if you guys know for sure you have identity theft, you can send a letter into the credit bureaus. Say if it's a collection company, you know it's identity theft, ain't no way this is yours. You can send a letter in to the credit bureaus, and you can send a letter into the collection company. You don't have to do both. You can just do the credit bureaus and let them know, hey, it seems as if I have some fraudulent accounts on my credit reports. And if you get a police report, because you know for sure this is fraudulent accounts, if you get a police report and send that into the credit bureau with that letter, they have 5 days to delete that account from your credit reports, and then the credit bureaus is going to let that collection company know, hey, this is a fraudulent account, don't collect on the account at all. That means when it's no collecting on that account, that means they can't just go ahead and sell it to another company. Now, that's another thing, you guys. When it comes down to getting accounts removed from your credit reports, if it is your account, this is huge. This is like really the most important part I really want you guys to know. Getting accounts deleted from your credit reports, like I said, send a letter to the collection companies, send a letter to the credit bureaus. They'll work on deleting it, right? But when that account get removed from your credit reports, if you do not settle the debt, and you know it's your debt, if you know it's yours for sure, if you do not settle it and they got all the proof to say that it is yours, they're going to just sell it to a new company, and then that new company is going to put on your credit reports, and you're going to wonder why that same debt is on your credit reports again. They're going to keep selling that debt so many times. Every time you get it deleted from a collection company. I remember when I first started off, I used to get accounts deleted, and then in a few months it's back, and I'm like, how? How is this possible? And then I learned all they're going to do is just resell that debt and just get their money back. As soon as they find out they can't collect on it from you, they're going to resell that debt. And I always like to go back to the slavery days, you guys. That's why I think about debt. It's like slavery. Once they find out, like, I don't know if you guys watch Fruits, and I know it's kind of off subject, but as soon as they find out that you're a bad slave, which means that debt, as soon as they find out you not going to cooperate, which means you got the account removed from your credit report, they have to sell you off. That's why people were sold, and they was at different, you know, they had different slave owners, because they were sold each time. Anybody got time to be messing around with you if you're going to get this account removed from your credit report? Don't nobody have time to mess around with you if you're going to be disobedient, if you're a slave. So they look at you as if they own you because of this debt. So you really need to make sure that you cut ties with them. Like back in the day, if you were a slave, some people just bought their freedom. Hey, listen, I'm gonna give you some money. You can't resell me. Let me buy my freedom right now. Same thing with these collection companies. You want to say, hey, I know I owe you some money. I know I owe you some money, but let me settle. Try to see if you can pay 25% on the debt. So if you owe $200, try to see if you can pay $50. And people like, no, don't try to pay all your collections. Try that if you want to. Seriously. Try not paying it if you want to. As soon as you think about getting you a car, as soon as you think about getting you a house, as soon as you think about getting you a credit card, that collection will show up on your credit report again, and now you have to fight this new company, and you have to spend money sending out letters to the credit bureaus. That's paper, that's ink, that's time that you're spending. On top of that, you have to go ahead and remake letters and stamps and envelopes, all of that stuff, you guys. It's just too much. You're going to spend time and money when you could just settle that debt out. So make sure you guys are settling your debts. That's another huge thing. Now, I actually wrote down a few things. I want to make sure I do not miss anything. Now, statute of limitations. This is another thing I want to tell you guys about. Remember I told you they're re-aging your debts to the point where, hey, you may became delinquent on an account back in 2014. That means that they got 7.5 years from the first day that you became delinquent. So that first time you got that 30 days late payment, they have 7.5 years on that debt to keep it on your credit reports, right? So 7.5 years. But then look at your state. Look at your state, because they actually have a certain amount of years to be able to sue you. So that's the statute of limitations. So some people, like in Wisconsin, you have, I think it was like 6 years you had on the debt. And I think Louisiana, they like 3 years. So collection companies couldn't just get that debt from 2000 and 14, and now in 2021 they want to collect on it. They can put on your credit reports if they within the statute of limitations, that's 7.5, well, if they within the reporting period, that's 7.5 years. But within the statute of limitations, they can actually collect on it or try to sue you. So they can't just threaten you, hey, we're going to take you to court to sue you. You need to look into your state and see how long you actually have for them to even try to sue you, because sometimes you may not want to try to settle that debt. And if they outside the statute of limitations, sometimes they can't even try to collect on that debt. So make sure you guys look into that deeper. Like, that's huge. Like, that's very, very huge. I had a client that got a card with Navy Fed. You know, Navy Fed to cut you a check when you actually get a card with them. They got a card with Navy Fed. And since they're in Louisiana, Navy Fed really couldn't do anything outside of that 3 years. So what they did was they just started removing that account from their credit reports. And Navy Fed did not try to come back after them, trying to put that account back on their credit reports. It was a repo, technically, a repossession. So that's one thing you guys really need to know about. And if you got those collection companies coming after you and they like, hey, we're going to sue you, you can't even threaten to sue me. That's illegal, you guys. They can't even threaten to sue you. So make sure you guys talk to an attorney. I'm not an actual attorney, but talk to an attorney about this, because if they're threatening to sue you, if they're threatening to do things that they can't actually do, that's against the FDCPA. So make sure you guys look into that. Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. So make sure you guys look into that. That's huge. Now, if you guys get a letter from the credit bureau, so the credit bureaus ain't gonna send you a letter, right? They gonna, not the credit bureaus, but the actual collection company is gonna send you a letter saying, hey, Rickita, we have a debt right here for you and you owe $1,200. If you do not respond to this letter in 30 days, we're gonna assume that this debt is yours and we're gonna put it on your credit report. You guys really need to send them something called the validation of debt letter. Seriously, the validation of debt letter, that's the letter that you're going to send to them asking them, hey, you say I owe you $1,200. Go ahead and show the proof that I owe that $1,200. A lot of companies notice you're not even going to send that in. I remember when I used to throw them collection letters away in the garbage. Like, oh my gosh, these people say I owe $1,200. Throw that in the garbage. You know, that's not even some mail I want to see. But if somebody like that, if a collection company say you owe some money and they tell you got 30 days to respond, you really need to respond to them, because if you respond to them, and remember, when you respond to them, you need to make sure that you're sending out certified mail. And I know this a lot, you guys. I'm going to make sure I go live more so I can be explaining these different topics. But you need to make sure that you're sending out certified mail so that you can have proof that you actually responded to them. Because if you ask them, hey, send me the proof that I actually owe you and maybe we can work something out. If you send something like that and they don't respond, then they can't put that account on your credit reports. But if you don't respond at all, then they can put that account on your credit reports. So that's another thing I see. And don't forget, when you get an account removed from your credit reports, that they're going to sell it to a new collection company. When that new collection company get that debt, they're most likely going to send you that letter. So if you want to stop them in their tracks, because maybe you don't have the money right now to pay them, you really need to go ahead and send that new company that letter saying, hey, go ahead and verify and validate that I actually owe this money to you, your company. Show me the chain of title. Show me all these different things. And it's all in the validation of debt letter. So understand that you need to make sure you respond to them, because I see a lot of people, they like, oh, I just got a new letter in the mail, and I'm like, okay, let me see. And that letter is for like three or 4 months old, and it's because they had it sitting there and they saying it's a new letter. No, this letter is old, and now this company is probably on your credit reports, and now you really have to fight this company. As soon as you see that you get this letter in the mail, you really need to respond right away. Like, them validation of debt letters is everything. Like, seriously, you guys, you really need to take that serious. Now, don't forget, when it comes down to these collection companies, if you for some reason get it removed from your credit reports, you know you actually owe that debt. Like, I knew it was like plenty credit cards I messed up. I told you guys, like, when I started doing my credit in the beginning, I had so many credit cards, I messed them up, and I had to get these accounts removed from my credit reports. So when I got the original creditor removed from my credit reports, like, say if you had a credit card with Victoria's Secrets, you messed it up. When they actually sell it to that collection company, it's going to be a new account on your credit reports. as soon as you delete that account from your credit report, you know you messed up with that credit card. You need to try to settle that out, because if you don't, they're going to sell it to a new company. Now, a lot of times I'll tell people don't pay more than 50% on that debt. So if you know you owe $200 technically to that credit card company, don't try to pay them more than $100, because a lot of times they're going to take way less than that. So start at the bottom with them, and then this is like my little bonus I want to give you of what I say to them. This is kind of what I do. I'll be like, hey, I seen that I had a debt with you guys. I kind of have a few $100s, and I kind of want to work out my debt that I have. I know I owe you guys $1,000, but I was trying to see if I can pay possibly like $200. Maybe I can pay $300. It's a lot of debt. Make sure you say it's a lot of debts. It's a lot of debts on my credit reports right now that I'm trying to go ahead and settle out, and I'm just trying to see who I can actually settle with. These collections companies want to take your money if they know this is the only chance they're gonna get. So make sure you let them know you have a lot of accounts on your credit reports that you're settling out. And then you're gonna say, hey, I can make the payment today. I can put something in the mail, but is it a way that you can actually send me something in writing of this settlement agreement? It's really as simple as that. Now, they may say, oh, Rickita, you owe $2,000 technically, right? $2,000 altogether. So if you owe $2,000, I told you guys, don't pay over $1,000 for a $2,000 debt. Then you may come in and say, hey, can I pay $500? Can I pay $600? Let them come in and squeeze in where they fit in, but try to make sure it's under that $1,000 or at the $1,000 if you can really help it. Now, when it comes down to portfolio recovery, for those people that got portfolio recovery on your credit reports, I know for sure portfolio recovery will settle for half of the bill. They will definitely settle for half of the bill. Ask me how I know. I had to do it, you guys. I had to do it. I had to settle them out before. But portfolio recovery will settle for half of the bill, half of whatever you owe. And on top of that, as soon as you settle the debt with portfolio recovery, even if you settle it for less than what you owe, you don't have to ask them to do like a pay for deletion. Anytime you settle out any debts with portfolio recovery, they actually delete it from your credit reports. But I hope this is actually helpful to you guys. And remember, when you're calling these companies, this is the biggest thing. Let them know, hey, it's a lot of debts I'm calling. It's a lot of companies on my credit reports. I don't have that much money. So you take this money or leave it, because I'm not going to be able to call you back. After this money going to be gone. I'm not going to be able to pay y'all. And a lot of companies will settle out that way. Don't forget, you want to send out letters to the credit bureaus. You want to send out letters to the collection companies. You want to respond. You want to respond when you get a letter in the mail from the collection company too, because that's huge. That's really huge. And if you get any letters from the collection companies, make sure you respond within, I always say respond within 25 days or just right away and send it out certified mail. If you guys have any questions, definitely let me know. All of the letters that I told you guys about is inside my exclusive credit membership. Don't forget you can sign up for my exclusive credit membership for just $1. So go ahead and sign up for my exclusive credit membership. It's $1 to actually start. It's a 7-day trial. So go ahead and start with that trial and start getting your credit together. And on top of that, if you guys are inside my exclusive membership, I actually send out letters to the credit bureaus. So I actually sent a letter to the credit bureaus. You guys got all the letters to send it out to the collection company, so do it. And your original creditor. But I send the letters out to the credit bureaus for you guys for free. So if you guys like, hey, Rickita, I'm kind of busy, I just kind of want to get somewhere, I'm trying to get my credit together, then you guys can just sign up so that we can actually go ahead and send out the letters to the credit bureaus for you. But if you have any questions, call or text us 833-RICKITA, and I'll see you guys in the next video. There's so many people out there with debt. So much debt, you guys, that they can't even get a car, they can't get a mortgage, they can't even get a credit card. Like, I mean, a $200 credit card. Some people can't even get a secure credit card. So that's why I created my exclusive credit membership, and it's only $1, you guys. So my exclusive credit membership, you guys will actually get the letters to delete bankruptcies, charge off, repossessions, any negative account that you have in your credit reports. I have the letter so you guys can get that deleted. But guess what? Just because you guys are a part of my exclusive membership, you can get all those letters. But say if you don't want to do all that work, I have it so that you guys can get free credit repair. So that means I will actually start working to help you remove these accounts from your credit reports. And look right here, look all the results that my clients are getting. So definitely remember, you guys can join my exclusive membership for just $1. And I'll have that link down below. Or you guys can text SCORE 21000 and you guys will have that link. So I'll see you guys in my exclusive membership.